Okay, today we are going to look at fine motor activities that you can make or buy. So you can make probably for free or buy for cheap. So the first thing that we are going to look at is lacing. So let's see. You've probably seen before lacing cards. A lot of occupational therapists will use these to teach some of the fine motor skills. So I made mine out of cardboard. You could use the back of a cereal box if you wanted. Mine was a box where I had a package delivered. You could use index cards, but they're not going to be nearly as sturdy, so it's going to make the activity a little harder. I had cut mine into shapes, but you just take a shoestring, and those come usually 2 pairs for $1 at the Dollar Tree, or at least at my local Dollar Tree. And then you just, if you've never used one of these activities, the student just laces them into the holes, up and down, like that, like so. Okay, then next, if you don't have any cardboard or paper or like firmer paper, and you would like to do a lacing activity, you can do it with straws. So again, you just take the string and you would lace them on there. If you had different colored straws, you could make a patterning activity out of it. You could count the pieces as you put them on, 1, 2, 3, 4. But again, very cheap. Pick up a couple extra straws when you go to the store the next time. Okay. If the lace is too hard and you need something a little firmer, you can use what I think of as pipe cleaners. But they, I think I saw at Walmart, they had some called glitter sticks, so I think they go by different names. And I just happen to have these little star beads here. So you could make a pattern out of them. Green, pink, green, pink. Don't know if you can see that. And I think my video is moving a little slower than my voice. I have a tendency to talk fast. And if you wanted to make that activity even harder and you had some pipe cleaners, I don't really know what this stuff is called, but I'm pretty sure it came from Joann's or Michael's. But you could put it through these holes. They're a lot smaller, and you have to really kind of pull it too. But those are some good activities. See. Then, if you happen to have any clothespins, you could do this activity. It is where you just clip if you have a cup, you can clip them on the cup, you can clip them on containers, you can clip them on toilet paper tubes, and I do have one of those. If you didn't want to use a cup and you want to use a toilet paper tube, you can tip it on there. So, or you could use cards, just again, the back of a cereal box or some other kind of something, and you can put numbers on it, so it could say 4, and then you put 4 clips. Or if you have a bunch of, everybody uses toilet paper. So if you have a bunch of toilet paper rolls, then, or if you'll start saving them, because I definitely hope you use toilet paper, then you could put them on that. You could put your numbers, you could write your numbers on your toilet paper tubes and stick it on there. Okay. They do, in case you're not aware, you may see these. They do have these smaller ones that you could use, but for one, they're a little harder to, I'm not left-handed for one, but they also, if you don't twist them exactly right, then they break really easily. So if I was purchasing one, unless you're just really wanting the extra benefit of squeezing the little tiny things, I would buy the larger ones, because those smaller ones are not the most durable. Okay, next. Okay. Next we have sorting. I have some sorting activities. So this is one of those containers that I think fruit came in this, and I was going into an event and needed to take something. I just found this in my trash this morning. And I thought, you know what? You can do something good with that. So You could, if you have these little pom-poms, you can buy a big bag of these. They have them at my Dollar Tree, but they may not at yours. I know they have them at Walmart. But you could sort the colors. I'm getting them mixed up here. And this, okay, so you could sort the colors with it. Also, you could, oops, instead of these, you could sort, oops, I'm just making a mess here. Getting to practice my fine motor skills. I have these pieces left over from a game. I'm not sure what game. I think it's that one where you punch the middle and you move the little things. But I have these pieces left over, so you could sort those. So again, just find some trash around your house that's colored, and you can sort it. Then I have these blocks. These came from the Dollar Tree, and they were as a bag of them for $1. So you could also sort these: the blue, the orange, the green. It does not have yellow though, so you would have really, this was actually supposed to be color red. So you would really, do yellow and orange. So you'd want to look at what it is before you create your activity, obviously. Then also with these blocks, you can, you can make patterns. I put Velcro on mine to show you a little easier, but you could go green, orange, green, orange. Thought I was fixing to call the wrong colors, didn't you? Red, blue, red, blue. And you can also use these to sort, and I got these cups. They came, I think they were in the like baby section maybe at Dollar General. I mean, not Dollar General, Dollar Tree. And you can sort those. And I had, these are little bathroom cups that came from my bathroom. I just put a little piece of tape around, colored tape that I had around it. But you could do, like here, I just printed off the colored dots. But if you had them left over from a yard sale or something, but you can also put them, you could also put those on your cups if you wanted. And then you can sort according to the color on the cup. This came from the Dollar Tree. It's one of those 7-day peel things, and it's nice because it's compact, so you don't have a lot of junk around your house, because as you can tell, this is like creating a big junk pile at my house. And so then you can sort things: the purple and the purple, the orange and the orange, pink to pink. And you could, this would be, you could put more than one, or you could do this as a one-to-one kind of correspondence activity. One pink in the one container, one orange in the one container, one purple. Okay. And if you wanted to make this activity harder, you could use tweezers to pick them up and put them in. So you could do lots of different things. Let's put this back together. Oops. Then if you're working on colors, I have a magnetic board here, but you don't have to. You could actually do this on your refrigerator, to be honest with you. I was painting a wall, and I had some paint chips left over, and then of course I went and got a few extra for this activity. But I used the paint pieces, the paint chips, and then I on the back it's those magnets that companies send you so that you can put them on your refrigerator and you can remember to call them about whatever it happens to be. And so most of those I find to be trash, and so I came up with a way to use them. You can match the colors. Now it's a magnetic activity, so you could put them on your refrigerator and they could match them. You could put the magnets on the back of sight words and they can match them. You could put it on the numbers. You could put it on the letters. You could do all kinds of stuff, but you could make your own. So that way you don't have to buy them. Also, for colors, these are popsicle sticks. And no, I did not actually eat the popsicles, but I purchased mine. But I had some paint left over from a craft activity, that paint that you get for like 50 cents, you know, for the container at Walmart. And so that's why these have such bright colors. But you can match them. I had already had some small ones, but you could use 2 large ones. Then, if you don't have paint, but you have popsicle sticks, oops, let me get the air out of that bag. Then you could color them with markers. It works a little better if you happen to have Sharpies, but most people don't have multiple colors of Sharpies. So you can use whatever color. I mean, you can use whatever markers. They won't be quite as bright, but they'll still work. And again, you can match those. Another thing you can do if you were just wanting, you can make shapes out of these. I would suggest you use the same color. And if you wanted to put a little Velcro on the tips, that they would stick. And then you could do a square. I'm showing you because I'm sure you don't know how to make a square. Just kidding. And you could do a rectangle if you happen to have the small ones. Not exactly sure how you can make a circle, but I'm sure if you made it big enough, you might can make it look enough like a circle. But there we are with that activity. Now let's see what I have next. Okay. Let's put this activity up. Okay. Now, we have a bunch of containers. Okay. So for these, you can work on putting small things in the hole. So, and in the beginning, you may have to start with something larger. Like it may, again, have to be more like a cup size or even bigger. And then you may, like this one has a large hole in it. So you may want to put the big pom-poms in there. So first you're putting big pom-poms. Then you may graduate to a smaller hole. Can you put them in this little hole? The good thing about this container is if you notice it has a small hole, but then it also opens up to get them back out, because otherwise, see, I can't really get that. I'd have to try to reach in there and pull that out. It's kind of annoying. It's much easier to just pull it out. So you want to make sure that your containers, the lids come off really easily, because otherwise that's very annoying. Personal experience there. Then for this one, you can use the popsicle sticks earlier. These are like coffee straws, and I don't know if you really use coffee straws, but like if you go to McDonald's or a restaurant, they have those little coffee stirrers. Thank you, that's what I was trying to think of. Stirrers, that was the word. Mine are a little long because they actually came from an educational activity, but you could cut them off so they fit. But the coffee straws would fit. You're not going to have these, never mind. Whatever. And then let's see. And these are crystal light containers that I just cut very badly, cut a hole in the lid of. It's kind of broken and everything. This is another, there's the box. So you could cut a little hole right there, and you could poke the pom-poms through, or you could put them inside. That's another crystal light container. And then this one, it's toothpicks in a spice container. And whoo, mine is garlic. You might not want to use garlic unless your child just really likes garlic. Or you really like the smell of garlic, because it is very strong. I can't get this one. There it goes. And so then this one's a little bit harder, because you see you have to be able to put it in the little hole there. And obviously it's harder because I'm having more difficulty with it. But there you go. And again, you probably have some spice things that you get rid of at some point in time. And so there we are. We're finished with that. And we're finished with that. And we're finished with this. Oh, another one you could do is to make it a little more fun. You could put pictures on it. Let's see. Let's see if I can show you this picture. Chomp, chomp, chomp. It is a wipe container, and so you can. The monster is going to eat the balls. Here we are. Find all the green ones and have the monster eat the green ones, or have the monster eat the red ones, or have him eat the big ones or the little ones. so you can make it an activity. Put little faces on the activity if they're not quite having enough fun with it. Okay. Or if you want to do something with more like cards, like say sight word cards or something, then this one is a box, and I just cut the edges off of the flaps so it would have a hole there, and then I put this on it so you could put sight words in it. You could again put the balls in it, but it's going to make it a little easier if you leave this so that it comes up so you can reach and get whatever it is inside out, just as a heads up. Otherwise you're going to need a hole somewhere else in it. Okay. Then, oh, and when we were talking about tweezers, getting things up with tweezers, here we are. If you don't happen to have tweezers, these tweezers came from the Dollar Tree, so they were $1, obviously. And if you don't happen to have these, you may have some tongs at your house in your kitchen, and you could use those. Okay. Finish with that. Oh, and this one is well, I was changing out some handles on my furniture, so that's what mine is. Let's see. But the purpose of this is not for you to see my wonderful handles, but I mean knobs. It is you could see if you have any nuts and bolts. You could twist them on, twist them off. That's actually kind of a little more difficult activity there. Then if you have toilet paper tubes, which again we've already decided that most people do, then you can put rubber bands around it. Can you put the rubber band around it? And do you want to make patterns with it? If you have colored rubber bands, I happen to have colored ones. Because then you could do yellow, red, yellow, red. Actually, it's not a bad way to hold your rubber bands. You could keep up with your rubber bands this way. And then one more. Okay. So there's that activity. Then you can do you can write what's called. Let me see if I can write this upside down. Does that look right? Hopefully, I don't know if you can see that. Oh yeah, there it is. Again, I'm talking faster than I'm drawing. And this is called a bingo dauber or marker, and so you can actually this one that one can kind of get a little obsessive. So, but you can practice your letters that way, or numbers, or just counting. Then we have I had made this actually as a vision activity, but what it is, it's cardboard, and it's these 25-cent pieces of felt from Walmart, and I hot glued them to the cardboard. And then mine has Velcro on it. I think it might actually be attached wrong, like this. And so I created it so it will stand in a triangle. So you can turn it and have different colors. Do you want, and these are ping pong balls, so if you have if your child has more fine motor more physical disabilities, you can you can actually, you could make patterns with, I have some more over there at the bottom of my box. You can make patterns with the ping pong balls, orange, yellow, or you could just practice rolling them. And if it's a vision issue, as you can see them on this board. You can see them on this board probably. Maybe not that one quite as much, but this one you may not be able to see so much. A little harder to see that white one there. So if you're working on visual skills, you may, if you moved it around, they may see it a little more, but if you just have it sitting there, they may not see it. So you can work on visual activities with that also, or even scanning. Can they follow when you move it across there? Okay, let's fold that back up. Then I made these years ago for a student where we were working on place value. And so this was mine and this was his, and we would put the objects on here. But these are just little dowel. It's a dowel that I cut in half and drilled some holes, and actually that's a piece of pallet wood, in case you can't tell. And then I just painted them different colors. But if you had something, like even if you had Fruit Loops. You could put Fruit Loops on it. You could do different stuff. And you wouldn't have to make it out of this. You could make it out of something else. Actually, you could make it out of something like this. This was came in a gift that was given to me, obviously, with these little sticky things. I think it was candy, but and or if you have golf tees, you can put these in here, and then you can bang them down. But again, see, you could put, how many Fruit Loops can you put on this? And so any kind of it's totally left me what this stuff is called. Foam, whatever it is. Anyway, styrofoam. Thank you. I don't know why I'm saying thank you, because it's not like anybody's talking to me. Styrofoam, and that you could put things in. Then, and you could, the kids could put Fruit Loops and stuff on it. So there's that activity. And then, oh, these are, this one is, these are a little more, well, before I get to these, this one is, a parent actually showed this to us. Let's see. And these are Slim Fast bottles. And so I put a little piece of Velcro on the front of mine and attached shape cards so that I could change them out. But you could write directly on them if you want. But what it is the idea is to roll a ball and knock them over. So then if you knock one over, then you would identify which one you knocked over. Like it is the square, or it is the rectangle, it is the triangle. And you can take these off and put sight words on them, or numbers, or any other thing on the front of them if you have Velcro. Otherwise, if you just have a lot of bottles, you could just write directly on them. Okay, and then the next thing we have is we have some bubble wrap, and it comes in packages, of course, and so you can always have fun just popping all the bubbles in that. And then after the bubble wrap, the next activity is, these are what some people call sensory bottles. And this one, I have two of them here. And this first one is, I have letter beads in it that I've had for years. But really, what I wanted to show you is that a lot of times people will suggest that you put oil in them, but I put corn syrup, so it makes it move a lot slower. They're not really moving here very well, as you can tell. But if you turn it upside down, then they will move. It does take a lot longer though, so that way if you were like trying to identify the letters, you would have time to identify the letters as they're moving up in the bottle. I think there's a Q right there. And so, as it's slowly moving up, you could identify the letters of the the letter beads. And there's a C, as you can tell. I also added glitter to mine just to make it a little more interesting. And this one is a bottle where I was making an addition activity, and it has oil in it, so they moved around a lot easier. But for me, I was trying to find two dice, and I had a red one, but it was too big to fit in the bottle. So I have a white one and a clear one. So I would suggest you not use clear, because as you can tell, you have a little difficulty there seeing it. But so you would start with, like, if you wanted to start with a white one, you could say 5, and then you could count on. And so I think this one shows about a 6. It's really hard to tell, but you say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then after, you could shake it up, and then they should move around. And so you could start, if you start with a white one, you would say 1, and then the other one I think maybe has a 3. It's kind of hard for me to tell. So you would say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And those are all the activities I have for today. I will make another video when I come up with some more ideas. Thank you, and have a